Oh, yeah. Tuesday in the AM with the Cornbread Man. The Cornbread Man Morning Show comes to you every Tuesday, unless there's something that preempts my ability to be here. Cornbread Man Morning Show is brought to you by the Cornbread Man here on the Southern Fried Podcast. Happy Tuesday as we close out September. We hope that you're going to have a great Tuesday as you work your way through the work week. We are broadcasting live here beside the banks of the Southern Fried River from Studio A as it flows gently through the state of Georgia, through many little towns and hamlets and villages, all the way to South Georgia by Studio B and Robert, emptying into parts unknown into the great state of Florida. One of these days, we'll find out where that river flows to. Well, I hope you're up and Adam, and hope you had a good National Coffee Day yesterday. And we are ready to see if we're going to have a government shutdown. Yay! I have no idea what they're going to do. I think it's funny sometimes when you get these kinds of things going on. People sort of panic, and that's the whole idea of them scaring people and saying, we're going to have a shutdown. And they're like, you're not going to get a check. You're not going to get this. And so they like to make people afraid that the printing presses are going to stop. The checks are not going to go. There are some curtailments on state parks and things like that. But mostly things just click along. There is supposed to be a vote today to see if they can get an agreement. I doubt they will. They'll probably go all the way to a few hours of shutdown to get the full effect. And the Democrats are going to press this because that's really all they have. There's nothing else they can do. And so they know that the longer it goes, the more that people would get upset with not the Democrats, but the Republicans. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. It always comes to this. And they'll, if they do get an extension, it would only be for like 2 or 3 days or a week. It will not be long. And that's just more time for them to keep it in the news when there's a lot of things that need to go on. But talking about getting paid, the president just got paid a lot of money. He sued YouTube. Now, I think it's kind of funny because we just got struck on our channel for things we didn't even say. But YouTube has to pay $24.5 million to the president to settle a suspension of his account. Well, they could give me about 10 grand of that, and I'll give them a pass on this week. They struck me. But anyway, they're going to settle a lawsuit that the president brought against the company on the suspension of his account following January 2021 U.S. Capitol breach. A court filing showed on Monday the deal makes Google the last of 3 big tech companies to resolve lawsuits Trump brought against them for trying to silence him. He had also sued Twitter, now known as X, and Facebook owner Meta, as well as Alphabet's Google and their chief executives in July 2021. Meta and X agreed earlier this year to settle the lawsuits. Under the YouTube settlement, $22 million of it will be paid on Trump's behalf to the Trust for the National Mall, a nonprofit the filing says is dedicated to the construction of a $200 million ballroom that Trump is building at the White House. I love this. They actually have to pay money not only to him, but he is having them direct more than $20 million of that to this ballroom that he's building at the White House. Work on the 90,000 square foot facility is expected to be completed long before Trump's 4-year term ends in January 2029. So he will be dancing at this ballroom that they're helping pay for. The remaining amount will go to other plaintiffs in the case, including the American Conservative Union, which sponsors the Conservative Political Action Conference, and U.S. author Naomi Wolf. YouTube did not admit wrongdoing and will not make product or policy changes on the settlement. Of course not. Trump did not lose his YouTube account in 2021, but was suspended from uploading new videos. That's where we're at. No new uploads of videos, no live streams. Thank you. I am on my personal account this morning. Hopefully, it will not be struck. But we do have a YouTube presence this morning, and we have had since being struck. Uh, it was restored in 2023. In January, Meta agreed to pay about $25 million, and X paid about $10 million in February for a similar lawsuit. Well, X got out pretty nice compared to them. Meta's settlement designates again that $22 million for. Again, another Trump building plan, the presidential library in Miami. Oh, I love it. They're not going to be happy about that. They're going to have to pay money towards these construction projects that the president has going on. Oh, I love that. I would have a sign on the front of it. Construction was partly paid for by Meta. Yes, Facebook. Oh my goodness. Well, that every time, I mean, he wins. He just keeps winning. That's what they say. You see it all over the place that he just keeps winning, and it's really quite hilarious that you see this stuff going on uh, as they keep trying to give him a hard time. He keeps winning, and I just think it's hilarious that they keep having to do that. If they just leave him alone, that's the thing. If they had just left him, alone, honestly, in leading up to 2016, he might not even completed the run. I mean, some people really thought that in the original, when he originally ran, that he just running on a. Let's just see if he could do it. Maybe get his name out there. It was a good ploy. I mean, when you run for president, I mean, you get a lot of attention. But everything they did to him running up to run to be president, ticked him off. I mean, they were constantly trying to bash him. I mean, they were trying to keep him, on the sidelines. They kept trying to, and he just kept winning. And I had friends that were, one of them, he's a libertarian, and he thought, there's no way no way does this guy get out of the original, 20 or whatever they got up there. He just kept winning. They keep kicking off the ones who have bad poll numbers. You got to have so much poll numbers to even get on the stage. They had so many people running, they had to have two stages, one on another night because you just couldn't get them up there. So, wanted to be on the first platform and not the second one because that was a dead end. The guy just keeps winning. I said, listen, his numbers are good. The people are and he kept saying he's going to drop out. He's going to drop out. He does not want to be president. He's shocked. He's the most shocked person in the world. Friends would tell me he's the most shocked person in the world that he is winning. I said he may be, but I said at one point I really think he's gonna stay in the race. He's gonna keep going. They've made him mad. His numbers are great, and why wouldn't he? I mean, you get the opportunity to be president, and the most shocked people. There's only one other race in the history of races that I have ever seen that much shock on liberals' faces as it was when President Trump won the first presidential election. And that was in the state of Georgia, watching Atlanta media when Governor Roy Barnes was running against Sonny Perdue. I will never forget the shock on their faces that the country bumpkin candidate could beat their, lawyer, liberal, polished up. He kind of had a Southern charm to him in a way, but he had made a lot of Georgians mad over the flag issue. And they're sitting down there it's like 2016. They were just basically getting the wine and cheese out. They were celebrating. And I'll never forget, I was watching Atlanta media live during that gubernatorial bid. And I will never forget the sheer look of horror on their face when people were talking in their ear, like their earpiece. And they said, hey, we have new numbers coming in. Hold on. Everybody pay attention here. And they announced these new numbers. This was late into the evening. And there was this look on all their faces. They looked at each other, and one of them said something like to this. It may be not exact, but it's pretty close to this. It was like, are you telling me that Sonny Perdue has a chance to win here? It was, well, not only a chance, he's winning. They started scrambling, looking for at the vote totals again. I mean, they were already in their home run trot. Like they'd already hit the home run. They were circling the bases. They were coming around third base with a victory lap for their liberal candidate. And then all of a sudden, the look of horror on their face when they said, "What? Wait a minute. Are we sure about these numbers? Can we trust these numbers?" I'll never forget they were saying, "Can we trust these numbers? Are these numbers legitimate? Let's look at them again, folks." And they tried every which way in the world to get a win for the governor, the current governor, and they couldn't do it. And it was absolutely hilarious. I will never forget. Just that was the best show that night, was watching them after they realized, and then the sinking feeling when it settled in that they realized, wait a minute, not only can he win, he is winning. That was pure gold. I loved it. Then you juxtapose that against 2016, late into the night, right? Late into the night, they're ready to do the victory lap. Hillary's ready to come out. She's ready to do her celebration. They say. I don't know. She was pretty toasted anyway. They were already partying back in the back. And there was two states. You remember there were two states that came down, and Trump pulled them both, and it sent a shockwave across the bow of the election coverage. I will never forget that. I mean, it was like, because I almost expected him not to win because the machine, the Clinton machine, and you just expected that it was going to be hard because it was like one path to victory. Like, she had claimed all these big states. I mean, they're riding the high wave. She's on the surfboard coming in the in the pipe, coming in, bringing it home. Then all of a sudden, Trump just keeps winning these smaller states. He just keeps winning them and winning them and winning them. The whole heartland of America is going for him. And then he pulls a couple of big states. And then they're like, wait a minute. Are you saying that Donald Trump could win? I will never forget that. It was comedy gold. And then the fact that Hillary wouldn't walk out. I heard she was pitching so much of a fit and throwing drinks against the wall, nobody could even console her. She was in such a rage that she was losing. It was just it's the smuggery of these people. I don't even know if that's a word, but that's the way I'm going to say it. It's like there's no way that somebody they look down upon, like they look down their nose. There's no way that somebody like that could win against us, the machine. That's what's beautiful about it. That's what Donald Trump represented for whatever he was in the beginning. It was that the people who felt disenfranchised, the people who felt like, they don't even care about me. They just bank on my vote. Those are the people that won. Those are the people that said, I actually feel like I did something. Like, I feel like my vote really counted, because they watched in real time the machine lose. And in both cases, these were considered the machine. I just love that. It was great. It was like the underdog victory of all victories, and they hated him because he wrapped himself in the flag, literally. And he celebrated America. He kissed the flag. And you know what? I believe he really does love the country. But if it was all an act, it's the most effective thing ever. Because they looked down their nose at the flag. They looked down their nose at patriotism. They looked down their nose at common people like me. I'm just a common country guy. They looked down their nose at people like me, like, well, you don't count. We own you because we got California, we got New York. They don't care about the rest of the country. They just care about winning the two big states. They figure 4 or 5 other liberal states will come on board, and they've got it. They cannot even fathom in their mind. It was never, they had banked on that and banked on that. And I remember in Georgia on that other race, they said the smuggery of it, there's no way are we losing to a bunch of people who are mad about a flag. They absolutely, totally dissed the idea that enough people would be mad about a flag that he could lose. And he never got back in. He thought he was going to be in until he wanted to be out. And he found out. And that's what people are mad. And you know what? I think a lot of people didn't even care about the flag one way or another. What made them mad is that they just felt like they just didn't have somebody representing them that were talking down their back. Southerners don't like that. Southerners don't like it. It's all about how you talk to them. And if they feel like that you are just that you don't care, they feel like that they own you, and we feel like if whatever the issue is, it's offensive to you that they speak that way. Like they look down at you like we're all playing the banjos down here, like in the movie Deliverance. That's the way they look at us, and that's just ticks us off. We have suffered for decades with when the corporate machine would shut down jobs. It was always Southern jobs. They've always dissed the South. They've always dissed the heartland. And except the ones that are very liberal, their buddies that bought up all the farmland that live there and are one of them in the club. They're part of the clique. Uh, that's what they just never can count on. But Hickville, that's why they look at it. It's Hickville. It's media, constant media put down of people, everything Southern, constant put down of the way we talk, the way we act, the way we dress, the way we believe, our everything about us, even on a sports scale. Our sports teams get dissed constantly in rankings and things because they just have a smuggery about themselves, and they just can't stand the South. Except for certain, selected liberal areas that they go into and collect money. But even in that, those people are so stupid because they really think that machine cares about them. They don't. They don't care. All those people in Atlanta that think that the machine cares about them, they're fools. Those people could care less about you. They just take advantage of you. They count on you. They got you in their back pocket. That's what they do. And it is so good to see them get their comeuppance and to lose. You know what? Sometimes a candidate may not be that good, but we'll vote for somebody just to knock you off your pedestal because of the way that you look down at us and who we are and what we are. And people, from the local to the national level, they better get that in. They better understand that, because if there's anything they've done, they've awoken a large part of the vote of people like that who always felt like it don't matter. Why should I even vote? Well, now they're ticked off, and now they want to vote. Now they're getting their friends to vote. They're getting signed up. And no, there's a lot of work to do. It's not a perfect way or nothing, but that's the way Atlanta thinks. Atlanta thinks, what the heck? The rest of Georgia's just a bunch of hicks. No, we've got it. It's Atlanta drives everything, and it does to a degree. But in the last few elections, North and South Georgia has driven the state, and it has taken a massive turnout, and it has drove a stake in their heart. They cannot believe that the rest of the state, because they can't stand the rest of the state. They don't care about me in this up here, this part of Georgia. They think about Atlanta, maybe Savannah, Albany. That's it. They don't care. It's a joke to them. They fly in on their jets. They do fundraisers in Atlanta. They come down there. They say the same old crap. And their message never changes. It's the same old refried beans that they come down and they say. They shake a few hands, smile a little bit. They bash Republicans. They bash conservatives right here in the heart of the Bible Belt. Then they fly out back to their places up in Maine and Boston and places. They could care less about those people in Atlanta, but they fall for it every time. All Georgians should be looking up there and tell them enough, but they won't do it. They absolutely think that all they got to do is wink at them a couple of times, come down and, like I said, just make them think like they really care. That's what they do. They absolutely, and the ones who do it, who are hooked in the most, who should never let these people ever have their vote, is minorities. Minorities get treated so bad by them, but they have convinced them that they are their golden ticket, and that conservatives, there's no way they care about them, because they beat the same drum every time. But the problem is now more and more people, and I think the Donald Trump effect has caused a lot of them to reevaluate their vote. It's slowly and surely starting to change. And I've talked to people on the ground who told me they'll say, I'll tell you who I voted for. I voted for President Trump. My family does not know this. If they found out, they would be mad. I'm trying to talk to a few of them off to the side and trying to pull them away, because there's the hardcore in my own family. And if they knew that I voted for him, they wouldn't even have nothing to do with me. That's how brave they are. Their family would even disown them, because they would say, you can't do that. You can't go against the party. They told me straight up. They said, I believe he's good for America. They said, I believe he's good for me. And they said, they would say this, I'm not stupid. And I realized that I've been sold a bill of goods. This is what they tell me. I didn't make it up. And they'll say, I like the man. I'm voting for him. I believe he's good for my paycheck. I believe he's good for retirement. And they just say, the others have said just exactly what I've been saying. They feel like they've got my vote in their back pocket, and they don't care. They say the same old words. We see through it. It's a joke. And I'm trying to convince my family of it. So anyway, good, a big one for the good guys, the little guys, the underdogs. It's always good. We root for the underdogs. We like to see them win. And when you get that opportunity to tell them up yours, it's not a proper way to say, and maybe not to say, but that's the way you feel. It's like, you know what? We don't, take that. And then to watch the machine just cry and wail. I mean, it's like you can see the demons oozing out of them as they just flop around. It's like it's like a movie. It's like The Exorcist or something. Watching their heads spins around and green vomit coming out because that's what it's ugly and nasty. Then you see just how dirty and nasty they are. Wait till they lose, then watch them just burn each other down. If there's anything they enjoy doing more and burning conservatives down is to burn each other down and devour each other. Because that's the thing. They don't even care about each other. It's all about how can I use you? How can I get you into my court? I just wish more and more of people would really understand that. They live in such a bubble. They live in such a fake lifestyle that they have no idea what the American public is all about. The American public should never let people like that have say over them, because then they turn around and they make laws and decisions and regulations and things that hurt their lives. And that's what kills me, to sit back and watch that, how they hurt them, how they don't fulfill any campaign promises. I remember the first term, President Trump's first term, and there was a list of about 20 to 22 things that he said that he would do. Within like the first few months, he had already accomplished that many. And then they just kept bashing him. And we would try to put that out to people, and they would say, look, okay, you hate the guy. I get it. But can you at least acknowledge that what he said he would do, he's done? When's the last time any candidate for you, when did Obama, when did Clinton, when did any of these people fulfill, even Bush, when did they fulfill anything that you asked for? When? What campaign promise was fulfilled? As soon as they got elected again, they forgot about you. You're done. He actually has the list. He goes down the list. He keeps kicking butt, making it happen. He said, I'm going to do this. He does it. He says, I'm going to do that. He does it. Or he's working it. Or we see the fight that is going on as he's trying to accomplish that stuff. And it'll take generations to try to heal our nation on these things. I mean, even in his term, he's not going to be able to. It's so deep. It's so deeply embedded. And these people are on the sidelines. We're seeing that with all the lies that's been coming out and how they lied and how they're willing to sell out the country. Sell out the country. They don't care to pad their pocketbook, to accomplish power and maintain it. They're willing to sell this country down the road to the highest bidder. They don't care because they hate this country. They hate what it stands for. The flag to them is a tool. They don't even like the flag. They have no patriotism. They're just users and grifters, every single one of them. And that's what they've done. It's all about getting into power, holding on to power, and getting filthy rich off that power. That's what they do. And there's some of that on both sides. Sure, absolutely some of it. But when you got somebody come along, that's what they couldn't do. And that's what's beautiful. They could not buy him off. He was already very powerful. And that's what they do. It's like the Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. You go up against the machine, they pretty much tell you, hey, come on board or we'll destroy you. And that was the whole premise of the movie, is that he was not going to be manipulated. He was not going to be bought off, that he was not going to let the machine win. And they brought out the media machine in that movie. And, it's a movie, but it does represent a lot what we've seen and look at what's happening right now. And it may be a small scale. He just won this award, $20-something million, 24, whatever it was, from YouTube. Well, for them suspending his account, not letting him put up new videos and things like that. I'm a peon. I love that. But that's exactly what they did to us. We didn't do anything wrong. We appealed it. Seconds, it comes back, rejected. It's what we say. You broke our community standards. Oh, you have standards? Go on the channels and listen to some of the filth that's on your channel and tell me you have standards. The only standards you have is that you don't want the conservative voice out there. And you have canceled so many people. Now, I may lose my account for what I'm saying this morning, and I just don't care. They have trounced people. That's why we told people months ago, if you want to follow the Southern Fried, you better get over to Rumble and at least make that your base. Because we may, in the future, we may not be on any of these others because they're going to kick us off. Because as soon as we start saying what we're for and rooting for these kinds of things, they're gonna roll back the carpet on us, and we're not in their camp anymore. They won't want your money. They don't want nothing to do with you. They want to cancel you. Happens all the time. Ministries, conservative voices, they don't care. They'll just cancel you out and control that. They're smug. You remember when they called them all up before Congress? You remember that? You remember the Jack from X and Dude from Meta. I can't think of his name right now. I can't stand that guy. But they come out, the smugness, the look on their faces that they had for the condescending attitude that they had. Like, how dare you call me up? They don't care. These people do not care. And they want to crush conservative voices. They want to crush anything that's conservative, anything that is of value, that stands against the crapola that they've been trying to shovel down our throat over the last several years about on many subjects, not just one, but many of them. And if you say one thing against it, then they bash you, they strike you, and eventually they'll just take your channel. You just don't get it back. You're done. And there's the landscape is littered with destroyed podcasts that had to start all over again. I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of work that goes in. I mean, I applaud them. God bless them for not giving up. And I cannot tell you the numbers of podcasters that I've seen that said, I had this many thousands of followers, and they took it all. They absolutely stole it all. They canceled me out. I am completely starting over. Please follow. I absolutely will follow that person. We might not even have anything that we agree on together. I'll follow them. You know why? Because they got crushed by the machine. And it can happen to us just like it does them. And there was one here a while back, 300,000 followers on one platform, 300,000 followers, and they canceled their account. They just told 300,000 people, you don't count. You don't we're not going to let you watch this person anymore. And we're not even going to let you have access to all the videos you put up. We're not going to give you access to have your channel anymore. You're not getting it back. You're done. Good for President Trump. And I hope more and more powerful people sue the heck out of them for doing that. You know what? We do have to have some standards. Absolutely. There are things that you just can't say on podcasts, and nor should you. I'll stand on that. Things that are against the law, things that are against humanity. I mean, like, kids and things like that. Absolutely. I have no problem with them canceling those people out every day. But the problem is that they let those people fly. Those people, they get pedestal status. They go after the people who are trying to have a voice for reason, logic, for family, for conservatism, for patriotism, for America first. The list goes on and on, for the right to bear arms, for the right to pro-life, you name it. And I'm throwing enough. We'll see what happens. I've thrown enough strings out there this morning that there's a possibility we may lose a couple of them. I just don't care. I really don't care. It just ticks us off. You try your best to try to stay within a boundary, because we're not really controversial. We're not on the edge. We're not pushing the envelope. Not like there's a lot of patriots that pushes a whole lot harder than we do. And then you strike us and it's a smug about it. Like we're a joke, or we don't matter. And I know it is their platform. I get it. We're going on their platform, but everything is geared to keep you from being successful. It's geared, and success to me is reaching people. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about just success is actually that there's people out there that actually want to listen to you on a daily basis. I mean, it's a mystery to me. I enjoy it. I love it. And I'm thankful that there's some people that like to tune in. We got our haters. Everybody does. You can't please everybody. There's people, we're just not for them. And it's not the way we're not supposed to be. That's fine. But there are people that like to hear our voices. They like us. We feel like they're a part of our family. We want that. And then to just take it, all those people, and it just makes me so mad that the people that like to tune in on YouTube and watch our channel, they can't do it. And we didn't say anything or do anything, but that's the crap you deal with. You're not going to go live. You're not going to load up a video. And they're wondering what happened to you. I mean, what's going on? And if, a week is a long time, think about it. You don't broadcast for a week. People find somebody else because they get used to the routine of you being there. And that just kills you. It absolutely does. It'll stall you out for a while. And eventually people will find you, and you'll lose some. You'll never get them back because they just think you're gone. That's the only channel they go on. They don't go multiple channels. I'm on 20 to 30 different channels counting MP3. I've got accounts all over the place. But some podcasts, they only do one channel. And so if you're going to do that one channel better be Rumble. Absolutely better be Rumble. because you're going to get canceled out by these others eventually. They just don't care. And it's not just one. It's not just the YT. You go down and it's all the rest of them too. It's happened. And in fact, some of the ones on Rumble, they've lost their platforms 3 times. They was on this one, burned down. They went to another one, built it back up, burned down. Went to another and built it up, burned down. They came to Rumble and said, "Thank God I have a home." And Rumble cannot get major sponsorship because they hate their guts. They would love to cancel them out. So if you think that's you, I know people don't like to hear commercials, but when we run those Rumble Premium, those Rumble commercials and all that, we do it. We do it with pride. We want the channel to stay. We want them to be able to make it and to stand. Yes, and there's some other ones out there too. It's not. There's some other ones. I want to give them credit. I mean, there's some other conservative platforms that are trying their best. You can be a liberal, filthy as you can even imagine platform, and you will never have trouble with them. You can say almost anything; they won't bother you. But start talking about anything with America, patriotism, pro-life, pro-gun, whatever it is, pro-Jesus, whatever. They'll start burning you down, and that's where we're at. Good for President Trump. I applaud you. I just wish it was $200 billion or something. I wish it was enough that you own the company right now. I honestly do. And that's really the next step. I mean, I'm really surprised. I mean, he's got his channel now. He's putting other things out there, and he eventually is going to have one that everybody's podcast. There'll be a lot of people do it. He's got truth, but it's not set up for that particular way. You can post videos, and we do. We have a presence on truth. 1,810 strong, and God bless each and every one of them. But eventually, I think he will do that even more. I'm really amazed. I think that by the time his time to end comes, I think he will. There's no telling what, because he'll have even more time to deal with that, and he's going to set up an empire in that way. I believe it. Just to take it to him and say, "Here you go." Mess with me. Trump goes to Washington. Need a new movie now. Trump goes to Washington. All right, let's play a quick commercial. It's kind of quick. It might not be that quick, but I do want to play a little bit of our SFP News Nation this morning. We'll be right back. Good morning. Welcome to the SFP News Nation for your Tuesday. We're almost at the end of the month. We're right there. October comes. Well, in your news this morning on this Tuesday, the government could shut down. No deal has been made. The Democrats say they will not agree to the deal, and the Republicans are not budging. So we will see. Is the government going to shut down? A vote on Tuesday, today, for a bill to avert the shutdown is to be voted on. We will see. Well, authorities are still at the location of the church burning and shooting that occurred. It has been said that the person who did this, who was shot dead, had called the Mormon church the Antichrist and attacked the church. They're still investigating, and it is certainly a tragedy and horrible. And violence is never the answer, no matter what you feel about any other people. That is not acceptable. So let's pray for these folks. Ukraine has hit Russia in a power plant about 25 miles over the Russian border, Volgograd, and it is a place that Russia uses to help in the war effort. About a third of the city is without power. They used a HIMARS. We know where they got that to be able to do that, and they're looking to send more and more into Russia. Many drones were sent in, and the Russians were able to shoot down most of them. Things are intensifying, along with the things that have happened in the war, especially the children that have been taken out. There's now a UN report that is detailing the torture activities of the Russian soldiers inside of Ukraine against citizens to get them to talk or sign confessions. And we're not going to repeat some of those things, but it is obviously inhumane and very brutal what they have done. So let's keep praying for this war to discontinue and things to end on as good a note as possible. It's certainly horrific. And there's continued talk that there is a deal between the United States and Israel and Hamas to end the war there. and we'll have more about that soon. In our Veteran of the Day that we celebrate each day all week long, Jacob Edwin Terry Jr., United States Air Force, born October 13th, 1936, passed from this life into the next on September 6, 2024. A very long life. We salute your service to our nation and condolences to your family on this fairly recent passing of a United States soldier. We salute you. Thank you so much. Our Bible verse of the day, Romans 10:10. For with the heart man believeth unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. Amen. Our dog of the day, Ditto. I love it. I like that. Ditto. And you can get the McCamey Animal Center. Ditto is a sweet 2-year-old lady who takes a little time to warm up to new people, but once she does, her gentle heart shines through. She's a bit shy with humans at first, preferring calm instructions, introductions, and patient friends who understand her quiet side. With other dogs, Ditto is social and friendly, enjoying the company of furry pals who help her feel more confident. If you're looking for a patient, loving companion who blossoms with time and gentle care, Ditto just might be your perfect match. Be sure you give them a call and get your forever friend, mixed breed female, just slightly over 41 pounds. Also, these programs are brought to you by Payworld. You can see that if you have a small business, Payworld will take care of you. They'll take care of those details that you don't need to take care of. Use promo code Cornbread. Check out Payworld. Very affordable, perfect for these kinds of companies listed and others as well. And they'll help you get your business operating the way it should be and take care of those things you don't have time for that but are so important. Of course, Patriot Mobile, promo code Cornbread as well. Choose this great company. It's America-based, America first, faith-based. Customer service is America-based. You will like this company. Make the switch today. Promo code Cornbread. W Energy Drinks. Promo code Southern Fried. 10% off each and every order by using that promo code. You will like them. W is a fun company, and I have many merch items from them, and I like their product as well. No shakes, no jitters, no crash, no sugars added. W, you don't need anything else. Great flavors. Then Mammoth Nation, I'm a lifetime supporter of Mammoth Nation, member, but you can do it as little as $5 a month. You go through their portal, you get great savings at these other companies. You're going to get your money back within the first month. If you buy anything, you've saved money already. And use that QR code to get there. And that will also help the Southern Fried. And lastly, don't forget our coffees. Oh, this is a great time. It's National Coffee Day. SFP Coffee, where yesterday, was National Coffee Day. But hey, coffee is good every day. And we have teas as well. The QR code will take you there. If you're in the United States, the continental continuous 48 states, shipping is included in the price. Don't forget Three Ravens Publishing. They'll be with us on Halloween night with a book release party. I sure hope to make this a annual event. Great folks. You'll love their books. They're great hometown people, great people. They'll be with us, and we're looking forward to being with them soon. Let me get this back up. Sorry for the delay there. There we go. Join us each week on the SFP or Cornbread Nation Radio, too. You'll be hearing a lot more about that soon. It is up and running. We're fixing to do a lot of things with that very, very soon, and even going live there. We're on many different platforms. Support the Southern Fried by watching our videos and following us and sharing us out. We grow that way. We don't spend money on advertising. We just find people that like us, and we like them, and they help us, and we thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Take care. This is Dave in the AM, the Cornbread Man, for the Southern Fried Podcast, News Nation. Take care. All right, we're back. We're back with everybody. All the boats in the same direction this morning. Thank you for that. By the way, this book, speaking of publishing, we're going to have him on, Mr. McCracken Post, and I've been talking about this book, The Zenith Man. This is a local story that was just fascinating. I am on chapter number 6, I believe it is. So I've read this much of the book. This much to go. We're not even got into the case yet. This is already worth everything I paid for it. It is a fascinating look at a a controversial situation, intrigue, laughter, small town America, just great. He has a great way about him. He really did a great job. But this is a great local story that is fascinating, called Zenith Man. We're going to have him on the podcast. McCracken posting these folks are dead and gone, and he's going to come on and talk about that. He was the lawyer for him. That is a fascinating case, and please order that book. If you like courtroom kind of stuff, the crime thing. I'm telling you, it has all of that. It's small town America. It's the look behind the curtain of lawyers and what they go through sometimes. It's a look at the writer's life and what was going on in his life as he had troubles in his own life, and he's trying to deal with this and dangers and embarrassments, and trying to defend a man that was hard to deal with. And in the end, a friendship forged. It's just a great book. I tell you, I'm very, very impressed. I knew a lot of the story. I didn't know as much as I thought I knew, to be honest. And it's a great book. But Zenith Man, if you like to read, and yes, it's on audiobook. If you like books, I promise you won't be disappointed. You don't hear me pump a lot of books except for Three Ravens. I love their stuff. I am a reader. I need to find more time to read, but I do love to read, and I love a good book. There's nothing like it. And hey, I do read books on my Kindle. I've got a lot. I'm going to tell you what, there's nothing like having the hardback, right? I just like that. And I was blessed to be able to talk to the man on the streets. We just ran into each other. I've been wanting to talk to him for a while. And I ran into the guy. Not only do I get to talk to him, you can't do this on Kindle. You get the autograph. And he even gave us a video there in the store where the books being sold just down the street where this man's TV shop was. I mean, it was like all the boats came in. It was like all the stars lined up. And we're trying to work out what's the best time for him to come on. I'm going to reach out again. I'm going to give him till tomorrow. He has a list of days and dates and available times, and we're just trying to figure that out. He's an active lawyer. He's busy, and we want to get him on, though. He's done a lot of local media over the years, and I'm looking forward to having him on and getting him on some other programs as well. So, but anyway, I don't get anything for that. I'm not in any way connected financially with the book. I'm just a fan. I love small town America. I love this kind of I love the courtroom. I do. It's an imperfect thing, and we talked about that here. It was a week ago Saturday. We talked on the streets of the small town where this all happened. And he said, it's an imperfect science. He said, we try, we do the best we can. Justice is not always served. And he's taken on some very controversial cases. He himself is not what you would describe as a hardcore conservative. He said some would even call me a liberal. I said, well, in this area, in the Kapalima you are, that used to be conservative, actually. But he's a guy that has taken on the person's cases that nobody else would. He's that guy. And I respect that. And he still has his law practice there. We're doing a lot of video shots in the city right now. And me and Paul Putnam with Sending Financial Group are walking by his actual office. He goes, I didn't know that's where his office was. And it's nice to get down and do that. You know what? I'll tell you what, and I've been meaning to do this for some time. And we just really, with everything we were doing, one of the things we wanted to air was it's a show. It's short. It's not really even a show. It could be, but it's more like spots, and we call it Main Street America, and it's intended for small to mid-sized towns. And in the state of Georgia, they've been doing a lot to try to do things in downtowns across the state to revitalize the downtowns. They died. They built the bypasses. The big box stores crushed the little stores. And if you've been through the boarded up old buildings, they got all that mystique about them, that flair about them. They're not just this box. They have architecture. They have the wooden floors. They have a different. They look different. They're not all the same. I love that. And you go back in, and Georgia's doing a good job of kind of bringing restoration to the small town. And your niche stores and stuff are finding a place to do business. and people are flocking to stuff like that. They're redoing the streets. They're burying the electricities and all that, all the wires underground, and they're really dressing up the center of town. So what we do is we come in and we start highlighting small town America. And right now we're in the town of Ringo, Georgia, and we'll be there for 2 or 3 weeks. And we've already done a couple of videos downtown. We've got a couple of more to do downtown, and then just fringes of the city, and we want to highlight that. And then we're going to move to another local town, and this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And Paul is helping me with that, and others that may come on board as well. And yes, we'll be doing man on the street interviews. This is the other thing, that the aspect we've been missing. We want to get people on camera and be talking to them about how they feel about certain issues. And so that may even start this week. We haven't done the man on the street yet. We've been more talking to shop owners, doing spots around town, looking at small town America, looking at the uniqueness of it. Every town has something, 3, 4, 5, 6 things that are unique about that town. And when you travel and you go into towns, and a lot of people are like this, they say, I don't want to eat at the major restaurant chains. I want to find that local small town diner, the meat and three or whatever it is. What's unique? What do they have here that's different? And we look for stuff like that. Well, we're highlighting that, and we're basing while we're in Ringgold out of a coffee shop that is actually in his former shop, and some of his sign is still hanging there, and a lot about him. So it has this aura about it. It's really neat. We're going to be interviewing them hopefully in the next 2 weeks, and doing a little spot about their business. Caffeine addicts. We don't receive anything for that. We don't ask for it. It's all just to highlight small town America. I love small town America. You're going to hear me say that in these spots, and people like them. They take an interest in them. These are short things. We'll do some that are a little longer, but we're talking 1 to 3 minutes. We'll highlight something, and along with that, we'll be highlighting the financial group, which really is coming on board with us, and that'll help highlight their business as well as a sponsor, so to speak, of the spot. So be looking forward to that. It's something that we really look forward to doing. We're going to be doing it. We have others who are going to be coming up and doing promos. We're going to do promos in these small towns. That'll be something that's ongoing as well. We always like to freshen up our stuff, so to speak. So some of the folks that we have no promos with, we have no promos with Miss Elizabeth. We have no promos with, Miss Jen. We have no promos with Dean. Not really. We've cut one. I'm going to recut it. I didn't like how it turned out. We will have more and more promos that you will see of us out and about, where we're not in a studio, but we're actually out on the ground somewhere. So just to give you an idea of what was going on. I love this. Look for McCracken Post, and we hope to pull this together and get him on. We do have some interviews coming up that Rob's worked on, and we'll be having those, some that we've worked on together. But look for this one. I'm trying to close the deal on it and get this one in. You do not want to miss this. In fact, I hope to get him on a regular basis every few months or something, because he's got those stories. We stand and we talk, and he's very good about remembering specifics. He's a lawyer after all, and he remembers things, and he just has all these stories. And we are all about letting people tell, or not letting wanting people to tell their story. Celtic, it would be it's edited. It's not. These are recorded. These are not done live. We may at times go live. That's a good question, but I appreciate I appreciate that. I'll take any help. I do have a couple. I don't even know what I did with them, but this is more getting back out on the ground. And honestly, this is where I'm at my best. If I have a best, I don't know that I have a best. I like being here. I love being in the studio. I do, and I must love it because I spend hours here. Sometimes in a day, hours here. I was probably in the studio. Oh goodness, probably 5.5, 6 hours last night. I love studio, but where I really get it, like Steve there at Celtic Blacksmith, Half Pine Forge and Half Pine Forge Live. He's in his element in his forge area, his shop. That's where he's in his element. When he's sitting and doing it, he likes doing that. That's not his element. His element's out banging the steel. I love that. Well, for me, it's being out on the street. That's me. I like to be out. I like to interview people. I like to highlight things for people, and do like to edit those and put some things with them and bring them in. And uh, but so yeah, definitely. But we're meeting every Saturday right now, every Saturday morning for coffee and this. And someone had said, "What are you doing in Ringo, Georgia?" I said, "Well, all the things I just told you, we're doing that, and we hope to interview a lot of shop owners, and again, just people on the street. What do you like about your town? What do you don't like? It's their spot. Tell us about something we may not know. What's your story? That's the kind of thing I like to do. Some of these will actually go to things that where they're stories, but they're not really in like the center of town. They'll also be a part of that. We're going to be going and covering a couple of stories. Eventually, some of these were within an hour drive. Some of them are an hour away from where I live. We have a number of stories we want to work on, and we'll get video and stuff from there. Some of them are tragedies, and we will talk about that and kind of bring up to date and kind of go back in time and look at stuff. And some of them go way back in time. There's an area we want to go look at Indian removal. It's got a lot of history there. We're going to go look at that. These are all things that in the beginning it just got pushed back a little bit. It got pushed down, but we're in a position right now where we've just about got everything the way we want it. It's never perfect. You're always working on something, but now I have enough help and we have the ability to do it, and I have the people on the ground that can help me. And I can do it by myself, but it's so much more easier and a lot more fun to have a help on the ground with that. I have that now, and that's just me and Robert just too far apart. I mean, we can't do this every weekend. I mean, we're 5.5 hours apart from each other. When we do get together, we go out. You saw us do that. We're doing interviews and things on the street and shops, and we did that. We did a lot of that the last two times. Well, at least the one time that we got together, we did 2 days full of that, but it's just not feasible for us economically and anything else. The time factor doesn't work. When we get together, we'll do that. We'll actually probably go into some different towns we haven't done before. We'll do the same thing in South Georgia. But for right now, there are a number of locales. I mean, I got enough material to work on in this area that could probably last 5 years easy within an hour of where I live. Absolutely. So it'll be no shortage of material and stories and people, and they're fascinating. And but then we'll just venture out another half hour, and then there's a whole nother group. So, and within an hour and a half or 2 hours, just thousands. I mean, I'll be dead, but we'll never get through them all. So that'll be something we do ongoing. And for those that don't know Paul actually come back on and did a show with us. Paul is my old podcast partner. Full on ministry. We used to do a show together for several years, and we had an engineer who didn't want to be on. And we recorded everything back then. There was nothing live. Everything was recorded. We did a lot of editing. We had a lot of fun. We used to do these spots. It was hilarious, and we would do them just for the studio, the engineer at the radio station, he was the owner / engineer. We would cut these spots because after you're in the studio for hours, you get a little loopy and you start having fun. And there was no video. It was all audio, but we would record these spots, and we were doing some for, oh my gosh, we'd have some serious topic that we started with. And Paul or me would ask the other one, are you an expert in this field? Would say, oh, no, of course not. But I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express or something like that. We'd set it up to where it sounded like, but we would tell him it was for his ears only. And we would send him little things like that just to give him a laugh. But we were actually doing some of that the other day. That's how quickly we just kind of got back in step. It wasn't on camera. It'd probably be one of those. You better listen closely to these spots because there could be hidden humor in them. And I can almost guarantee you that the next spots that we have, one of those is going to have humor. It may not be front and center, but if you kind of listen to the words, you're going to see that start to come out. So we still got to laugh. We still got to have some fun. So phrasing is everything. I mean, Steve's a master at it. He likes to throw a little, but he'll stop and talk about it and throw it out there and step all over it and kick it up in the air and kick it again. Whereas we on this one, they're probably a little more just embedded, and you gotta see if you can pick it out. It may be a phrase or something that we say. We just don't take this time to stop and say anything about it. We'll see if you notice it. So that's already starting to come out within these spots. So I'm excited. It is everybody. Paula says, I cannot wait till Saturday. Like I cannot wait. It is so invigorating to do this. It's our element. It's where we rest at. It's where we just are. We were geared for this, and to do it together is even more special. Me and Rob do a good job with it. We have a lot of fun with it. We get out, and that's us. And it goes back to that. We grew up on the man on the street interviews, people getting out. I used to love that. They go out and you never knew what they were going to say, right? And those were live. A lot of those, not all those were recorded. You go far enough back, man on the street, you got live. There were times people had just turn around and say, well, let's go back to the studio. I mean, because you don't know what you're going to get, I won't clean it all up. If it's edited, it will, if as long as it's passable, as long as it's clean enough that it's okay, then we'll let it run. But you just never know what somebody's going to say. So, and you never know who's going to stop, who's going to talk to you or whatever. So we hope to start some of that this week. A lot of those spots, this works well for a lot of the sites that we're on that are smaller in nature. We don't put our full program. Sometimes we put the address for the show or we'll cross it over, but we don't stream live there because we can't. But we'll put a lot of smaller videos up on some of these, and that's fun. I like that. Those are people that follow us, and they never see a live show, but they follow our videos. And so that's cool. It's kind of a special for them. And along the way, we're going to be doing some exclusives. We have a number of exclusives. That's the last thing I'll say. I got to get off here. I got to take kids to school, and on to work I go. By the way, this week I'm working with a man for him and his whole family have came to America from Egypt. Great folks. They're here trying, and he's already recognized how high the rent is, and he's trying to learn the English. He's trying. He does a pretty good job, and he was actually in sales and tourism in Egypt. Interesting, and I'm enjoying so much the sharing. I got him to tell me what Southern fried was in Arabic, and so we've just had a great time together. And he's very appreciative of everything that we're doing, and looking forward to working at our company. And but yeah, he has discovered how expensive things are in America. But he did tell me this. I said, "Why did you come?" I'm just curious. Why did you come to America? He said, "I like America." He said, "America's great." He said, "I want to be here." He said he named the positives, and he things that he didn't like in Egypt. And one of the things he talked about was, and I know we have problems, but the cleanliness of America versus places he lived, violence, and although we've had that too, it's way worse there. The schools, no good. But anyway, what he said was, if I had never came, I'm older, it's no big deal. Although I'm glad I'm here. He said, I did it for my kids. I want my kids, they go to a very nice high school now. They're high school age. They go to a very nice high school. This is when you feel good as an American to help. And you're bringing in somebody who wants to build. And he told me, he said, I want to learn English. I want to do that. He said, he would say, I'm sorry. I'm trying. He told me, he said, I'll teach you Arabic. You teach me English. And so we're working on it. I said, well, you're in trouble because you got a Southern country dude who doesn't speak anything correctly. So, but we had a lot of laughter yesterday, but he said he wanted to do it for his kids. And I said, that's awesome. And that's what parents do, right? You want to get his kids out of some things that he didn't like. He wanted to bring them to this great land. And he wanted to get them to go to a clean school, a school where they can learn and to be whatever they want to be here in America. And for that, I salute. That's what America's about. And I told him I'd be his personal tour guide at a battlefield and stuff. So he thought that was awesome. So he's here to learn. He's here to add to, and be a proud American eventually one day. He's not a citizen. He is here on one of those statuses that you can come in. He's legal, and he's working hard, and he's paying a lot of money because he's having an Uber everywhere he goes. So you can understand that. If you've ever Ubered, you know how expensive that is and he's hoping to find somebody he can. He's trying to get his wife a job right now. He's hoping to get her a job. So they're working. They're putting in place those things to be a productive member of society. And that, my friends, is something I can stand behind and support. And these are good people. We're different. We're not the same, but that's America. Anyway, Steve, you have a great day out there. Everybody else, have a fabulous day. Tonight, Southern Claws and Paws, me and Miss Jeneth on our pet show. And look for a couple of surprises. I didn't finish my thought. I'll say it very quickly. A few exclusives. We've already been going to TikTok exclusive, Clapper exclusive. We're going to a new one this week along with those two. And on the schedule, I think tonight is Clapper. And then tomorrow night is TikTok. And I may do multiples of those, but we do give them their own night. We'll do more than that. But Wimkin is another platform that we're on. It's a newer one for us. We're going to go live there. I'm going to go live there. I think it's scheduled for Thursday night. That's a Wimkin exclusive. You've never heard of Wimkin? That's another one that is for free speech that stands on your right to be able to put your message out. That's why we're there. If you don't know who they are, go download the app today. You'll see us there. The Southern Fried is on that platform. So Rumble, Pickaxe, Wimkin, Gab. I'll throw that one in there. These are all sites that we can support and do. Give the Half Pine Forge a follow. And he'll be Tinker Tuesday tonight, I guess. Looking forward to that. I'll catch some of that myself as I'm leading up to the pet show. We're excited about the pet show. I've got to reach out again. I've got to check my emails. I don't know if my veterinarians got back with me. If not, we'll look for another. They must not be interested. We will find somebody that wants to come in at least once a month and be the doc on the show and talk about those things. And we'll help drive some business locally to them. Send us your pet videos, pictures. If you'd like to come up and talk about the pets or pets in general, let me know. Send me an email to Southern Fried Podcast at yahoo.com. You see it there on the screen right now, Southern Fried Podcast at yahoo.com. I am out. I hear the kids coming, and they're going to say, we are ready to go. We salute you. We are out. See you tonight. God bless America. Absolutely. And God bless you. Let's get our music keyed up, and boom, let's go.